It's like paint, the war, like a brush going through a city. It's not like when you see the news. Now I'm in the news. Ukrainians want, of course, the end of the war, but I care about how it ends, not when. In Latin we say si vis pacem para bellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. Now the Americans are in another planet. They seem to be on Mars, just like Elon Musk wants to. Hey, Adriano Celentano, italiano vero. Da, italiano. I am Andrea Cappelletti, I'm from Italy. Now I've started to be a designer. I draw technical drawings, and I changed my job last year to do such a thing just because I wanted to have more time to be in Ukraine. Because of course if I can work from my computer, I can stay in Ukraine more.
Floating bridge.
When I went to Liman the first time, I remember that we were joking in the vans, listening to music. Then when we were close to the block post for Liman, nobody was talking. I was like, oh no. Now it's serious. I remember when we put the plate carriers on, no seat belts, down the windows, because of course if there are explosions, there is problems with the glass, and also you must leave the vehicle immediately. And nobody was talking. So I remember that feeling of, oh no, maybe now it's too late to go back. But no. I never felt real fear, especially because I think I'm a person that stays there for a week. I cannot let myself feel that, because there are so many people that live there and they live through that pain, to that fear every day. Who am I to feel that?
Questo invece è il risultato di altri 2 droni.
Specifically, I'm from Cantu, which is a small town in the province of Como, the northern Italy, very close to Milano too. Well, my city is famous for basketball, it's famous for furniture, and it's famous for pizza, which is a type of tissue. It's very cool. Yeah, I love basketball too. Football, I always loved Milan, as hopefully the majority of people from my place. There are many groups there in Cantu. There are three or four groups that help Ukraine. One is just from Cantu and the others are from the province of Como. And we all help in different places. I decided to help, at least to help Ukraine when the full-scale invasion started, so in 2022, because I've always been very interested in war history in general, so First and Second World War. And I remember seeing the first videos of Mariupol, of Melitopol, the first videos of those Russian columns coming to Ukraine, and for 2 weeks I couldn't sleep. I remember that I would always look at the news just at that time. And from there I wanted to help, because to see what I read in books, to see it in reality in my home, because Europe is my home. I had the chance to start my history of helping Ukraine in April 2023, because also my dad is a volunteer in Ukraine and he was driving trucks. So many volunteers from Italy asked him to drive trucks for humanitarian aid, and so he started to come here. And since he knew that I wanted to help, in April he asked me to come to Corostin, where we have a volunteer center that helps us. So we are at the church in Corostin. This is a Baptist church called Grace. And it's not only a church, but also a volunteer center that helps any Ukrainian since 2014. And this is one of the points where we as Italians bring any help that we have.
З Андреа познайомилися в квітні.
I met Andrea in April 2023 when he came with his Italian friend Rick.
Другом, з Ріко. Вони
They came to volunteer.
щоб надати ту допомогу, яку вони
They were actively involved in our projects and worked with us physically.
фізичне перебування в наших проектах і матеріальна допомога. Тої благодійної гуманітарної.
They constantly supported us financially.
Вони приїжджали, робили звичайну роботу, таку ту
There are places to stay overnight on the third floor of the charity center.
третім
They lived there with us.
ночувати, перебувати певний час.
At some point, the volunteers here brought us to Borodianka, to Irpin, to Bucha, and I saw how it changed, because in this city, luckily, the war never was here. It was very close, but it wasn't here. It's like a paint, the war, like a brush going through a city. You see the difference the more you get closer to Kiev. I remember seeing the first destroyed houses, and then the shrapnel holes on the walls, and all the destruction. And when I saw Borodianka especially, something clicked in me. And I said, okay, no, I don't want to help where the war was. I want to help where the war is now. I want to help who is suffering now, to try to avoid more suffering from these people. From that time, I decided to take all the free time I have. I will come to Ukraine and help in any way I can. And I went a bit everywhere. So I saw the destruction in Kherson, I saw the destruction in Liman, how it is the real war. It's not just a map that you see that changes color. It's destruction, it's pain, suffering. But I saw also how much we're helping, and it's very nice. It's amazing to see people hugging you, being happy even just for one day because you came there. And that's why I always try to show that I'm Italian, because many people love Italy, and many people are interested in seeing that there aren't just Ukrainians helping, but also, there are also people from Europe that care about them. So this is my helmet, and all of these chevrons that you see are gifts from the people that we helped or that were with us where we went. And this precise occasion was in the region of Pokrovsky, but I won't say where exactly. And yeah, so this means a lot for me, because these are friends. These are not just things that I will bring home as a gift. These are memories. These are people that I've been helping or that I've been with.
Questi invece sono I segni del bombardamento che c'è stato.
Why I want to help Ukraine? Because Ukraine is Europe. Because I see how the more I stay in Ukraine, the more I see how many things are in common with my country, how many things are different, but how many things go together, they are connected. There are some words that are the same in Italian and in Ukrainian, while in English are completely different. It's so interesting. For example, I see how in Ukraine, every time you go to anyone, they always offer you, oh, please, drink chai, drink tea, drink coffee, you want to eat something. It's just the same same as our grandparents in Italy, the same. Always, whenever someone comes home, please come inside, have something to eat. You want some pasta, some spaghetti with pomodoro. Plus, they love Italian, so how can I not love them too? It's so nice to see every time someone sees that I'm Italian, they start to say, hey, Adriano Celentano, Italiano vero, da Italiano. And then I just fall in love with how Ukraine looks. And you can see the difference between the forests of this region. Then you go to Kherson, and Kherson looks like Sicily because there is so much more sun and the colors are more yellow. It's wow, it's so different. It's like Italy. Every part is so much different, so interesting. I see Ukraine as part of my country, as part of Europe, and well, it's amazing.
Далі є море.
Так.
Гарно. Можна було б туди спуститися, бач?
This is my personal flag with all the people that I've helped in my trips, and yeah, it's just an amazing memory of what I do, and also it reminds me of some people that are not here anymore, and it reminds me of why I do it. So yeah, I care very much about it. I and all the Italian volunteers with me help in any way we can. Mainly, there are two big projects that we do. So we collect food, we collect clothing, we collect many things to do with hospitals, like wheelchairs and beds and bandages, tourniquets as well. And we collect mainly in the region of Lombardy, but also there are two associations that know me. So in Tuscany, so Firenze, or in Ancona, Rome. We have so many different friends that help us. There are so many people that are interested in giving us food, and more and more. You will see later how there are also some very famous industries that give us food. Rio Mare, Tunez, for example, but also Mutti, tomato sauce. So this is part of what we brought in the last trip to Ukraine. It's nice to see how our group is growing. Instead of diminishing, like unfortunately many groups from Europe seems to bring less and less help to Ukraine, our group doesn't. For example, these are clothes for children, and as you can see, the box is very full. But we have also Pampers too for elderly people and for children too. We have, well, you saw washing machines, you saw microwaves. You can see blankets there too. Yeah, it's just full of everything. In 3 years, we sent more than 110 tons of everything, which is a lot. But just in March, we sent 29 tons. When they come to Ukraine, as you can see, they get unloaded in this warehouse and in many other warehouses around Ukraine. And from there, with the Ukrainian volunteers, I go to wherever it's needed, close to the front or maybe to other big cities in Ukraine, giving all this aid away. There are many occasions where we send this aid, and in other occasions we bring them ourselves to the people. Our relations with Ukrainian volunteers, it changes, of course, depending of the city, but we have many connections. From, as I said before, Lviv, we have some connection, of course, here in Korостyn, in Zhytomyrska Oblast, in Kherson, in Kharkiv, in Liman, in many other places too. There are so many evenings when we are all together, we make tiramisu, or we cook carbonara for everyone, or they cook for us shashlik. So, no, it's a very nice connection. They are almost my family now. Well, no, I call them family. I call them uncles and aunts.
Andrea comes several times a year.
І мені
I
здається,
think he's been in Ukraine more than in Italy.
ніж в Італії знаходиться. Він
He is already a full part of our team.
частина нашої команди.
But I also see how being a foreigner can also bring some problems. Maybe, for example, there have been some volunteers that have shown things that they could not show, or that have asked things that could not be shown to. In Kherson, when I went to Kherson, sorry, Ukrainian government, but in Kherson I had to fake being a Ukrainian soldier because we didn't know that you needed a document for foreigners to enter the city. But, I was just helping. So I remember that I was waiting in one of the 3 vans, and the other volunteers went out and they started to talk with the soldier. And I said, okay, why not? I will just go out to move a bit my legs, because we were driving for hours. The moment I go out, the soldier says, do you guys have any foreigners with you? And I had a big Italian flag on my chest. I, no, we don't. And who is this guy? Andrea no, go inside the car. Because, I know that there have been some tourists that have caused problems, and that's what I fear the most. I fear that I don't want to be seen as a tourist. To show you people in Italy what I do, I need to take photos, I need to take videos, but I don't like it, and the first year I didn't do it. Because I don't want to be labeled as, look, this guy, he wants to take a photo with a tank and then go home. I just want to help. So I see these 2 words together, 2 words combined. I see how many people like the work that we do, and like the fact that we are foreigners helping Ukraine. But at the same time, there have been occasions where I saw people seeing us maybe taking a photo and asking, this is not a zoo, this is not a play park, this is war. So why are you taking a photo of my house, for example? I understand these people, of course, but if we do not show life in Ukraine, how can people help? How can people understand this? And also because the more I listen to, the more I see, the more I can show in Italy. Because what I also want to do, it's not just helping Ukraine, but also to show Italians what happens in Ukraine. In general, the Italians see the war in Ukraine as something that doesn't touch them, because it's not in Italy, and many people in Italy just think about themselves. They don't know much about it because there are not many informations about it. Even in the television, it's a very big mess, because the Italian television has always been saying, one channel speaks about pro-Ukrainian things, one channel speaks about Russia, one channel speaks about America, one channel speaks about just Italy. And so just like our politicians, we are used to not listening really to what they say, because we know that it's not real. It's just a very big mess of things. And so in the end, many people in Italy, they just talk maybe in the bars and say, like if it was a football club or a news from your small cities, no, I think that this is true. No, I don't think so. There are many people that want to help Ukraine, but there are many people that don't, but not for the reason that you may expect. They don't have anything against Ukraine, but mainly I've listened to people saying that they don't want to help Ukraine because they are against the Americans, or they are against the European Union. It doesn't make sense, but as I said, it's like football for Italians. So you take one side just because you like the flag. So this is part of the food that we have brought last month. In March, we sent 2 trucks to Ukraine, one to this place in Korsten and one to Chernihiv. As I said before, it was around 29,000 kilograms, so 29 tons. And we brought a lot of food. So, for example, as you can see, we have so much vegetable in cans. We have a lot of tuna. We sent, tons of tuna, tons of pasta, tons of tomato sauce, tons of everything that it's possible to bring. Chocolate, biscuits too, and this is just one part. Well, I see that in this war, there are many similarities in what happened in Czech Republic, especially in the Second World War, and then, of course, in Poland. I see how Russia created some fake ideas to say we need to invade such country, and Europe, what was back then France and Great Britain, instead of helping, instead of standing their ground, they tried to give a concession. And no, because we don't want war again, so why don't we give some regions of Czech Republic to Germany, and the same now. Oh, okay, why don't we give Crimea to Russia so that we don't get war? And yet again, just like in Germany invaded Poland 1 or 2 years later, the same Russia did here. It took 10 years, but the same. Because if you show that you are weak, if you show that you are not there defending what you want to defend, why can't Russia go to Poland next time? Who knows if we will defend Poland or not? For now, we didn't show it. We didn't show that we want to defend what is important for us. So yes, it's very similar.
Che unisce due territori della NATO. Nel momento in cui a Putin saltasse in mente di fare un'operazione ucraina, per esempio per congiungersi con Kaliningrad.
Well, I think that the reasons behind what's doing Russia, it's because Russia is not capable of taking control of a country without using weapons. Because if you have the freedom of deciding for yourself and you see how they live, how Russians live and how Europeans live, well, you will for sure choose the Europeans, the freedom that we have. We have everything. Why should you choose Russia, where there is, apart from the big cities, it's a very poor country, you don't have as much freedom as we have in Europe. So I think they are trying to rule on Ukraine with weapons, because they know that the advantage that Russia have over Europe is weapons, is the will to put blood on the ground, literally, to expand people. If in Italy there are maybe 2 deaths for operation of peace in Lebanon, it's something very big for us. Oh, 2 people died. It's shocking. For Russia, they can be 2,000, 20,000. They don't care. So they know that they can do it this way. They know that we are not as strong-willing. So yeah, I think they just want to take control of Ukraine, and they saw from the reaction of Europe and of America that now they can also not take control, but get more. Not just Ukrainian land and Ukrainian economy, but they can also ask to Europe, okay, but now in exchange of maybe leaving a part of Ukraine, you will give us some contracts for gas, some, oil, or maybe minerals. They see that they have the upper hand at the moment. They have the knife, not from the blade, but on the other side. They keep the knife. That's why we need to show that we are strong too. We say, in Latin we say, si vis pacem para bellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. Because if you don't show that you are prepared, the other guy will come. For me, it's a lot more important justice. I want to see Mariupol one day. I want to go to Melitopol, to Berdyansk one day. But I don't want to see a Russian flag. I want to see a Ukrainian flag. I want to see smiling people. I don't want to see prisons the way I saw in Kherson. I don't want to see destruction the way I saw in Liman. I want to see normal life. Simple life. I want to see one person telling me that the Ukrainian government is bad, one person telling me that the Ukrainian government is good, and they can both speak freely. So Russian soldiers with guns asking you to vote, to become part of Russia, no violence, no, as I said, prisons, no tortures. I want Ukraine to be free. I want Ukraine to be with me, with Europe, and yeah, I want justice for everyone. I want that the death of so many of my friends too will be remembered by how the war will stop. Ceasefire. Russia could have agreed to the ceasefire. They didn't, and I don't think that anyone wants really a ceasefire. They just want Ukrainians want, of course, the end of the war, but I care about how it ends, not when.
Per fortuna non ci sono stati feriti, quindi almeno quello, però hanno colpito queste 2 case, scusatemi, queste 2 macchine e l'edificio di fronte. Immagino che di lì ci sia ciò che rimane dell'esplosione.
If I had the opportunity to speak to all Italians just in one moment, I'll remember them. We didn't start the war, Europeans. Ukrainians didn't start this war because it's not our tanks that invaded this country, it's the Russians. How also ethically speaking, we should be with Ukraine because Ukrainians want to be like Europe and they are very similar to Europe. And what they are defending is what Europe means. Freedom to speech, freedom to vote for whoever you want, freedom to say whatever you want in your country, not be controlled by anyone else, but also just economically speaking, we should be on your side. Because if we have Ukraine with us, Europe is stronger. So, yeah, they should see how much suffering there is because of Russia, how much destruction there is because of Russia, not because of Ukraine, not because of Europe, not because of America. They are on the other side of the sea. They don't even see what happens here. Now, the Americans are in another planet. They seem to be on Mars, just like Elon Musk wants to. I think United States now are not out of the game, but I don't know how to save them from what they have now with Trump. But Europe, yes. I saw also how many more people started to care after Trump got elected, because now we also feel a bit of the fear of, okay, now that the Americans are not with us, I don't know if we are ready to defend ourselves in any way, but we are here. You can take one plane and in 8 hours total you are in Ukraine. This is very close to our house. This should matter for us. This should care. We should care about what happens here. I tried pizza here, but no, it was too difficult for me. It's the first time I saw pizzeria, like you guys say, in Ukraine, and I saw the sauce. I said maybe I should go back to Italy. No, it's interesting. There are some pizza that I very much liked, but no, your kitchen is also amazing. Your dishes are wow. Every time I can drink compote, I drink compote. Every time I can buy shashlik, wow. Deruni, here there are so much. There is so much deruni everywhere. Also Gruzian food is amazing. So there is no need for Italian food here. Yeah, I can change my diet when I'm in Ukraine.
Борщ con smetana, compot e il salato. Tutto fresco, buonissimo.